Hello, welcome to Dramatis Personae. I'm your Dungeon Master Moo, and today I will be talking about a very important NPC in my world, known as Tybal Brim. Tybal Brim is a tiefling tailor that resides in the Brass City in the Plane of Fire. It's a very tall and gaunt man that is very stylish, very nice pointed beard and mustache, wears these sort of platinum framed spectacles that are slightly tinged blue, made from dragon glass, a very sturdy and arcane material. On his face, you do see several scars that are from childhood injuries from his time growing up in the family vineyard in Alrak, which is a very small wine community, essentially. He does mention that they're simply from him messing around in the wine cellars as a child, accidentally breaking a bottle and catching the glass in his face. There is more to it than just that, because the way that the scars are, they look a little bit more as if someone has attacked him with glass or a broken bottle, rather than just simply falling onto broken glass. Which brings me to the fact that Tybal's family, the people that they are, the Brims, a very prolific aristocratic family from a long line of vintners and merchants. They were in a feud with another family. No one knows who the family is. Even Tybal does not know who had a feud with his own family. However, this other family had sent a hired killer into their midst, right under their noses, in the form of the governess, the one that raised Tybal. This woman grew close to the family and eventually assassinated the parents and a few of the siblings that Tybal had. However, growing fond of Tybal, she essentially attacked him, left him for dead, but with a very high chance of survival. And then she fled into broad daylight. It's not known if the governess was caught, but it definitely pushed Tybal in a direction that he did not want to remain at his childhood home for much longer, and found the love of tailoring that has basically been rooted in his home culture, his Vazinerian roots, where he finds silks and designs, colours that are garish and gaudy but not sore on the eyes. So he travelled around Vazanir, looking for someone to teach him the ways of a tailor, and he encountered his master, a very prolific woman known as Kavan. Kavan, she was a very kindly woman, a very mothering figure to him. Tybal, unfortunately, was distrusting towards her because he had only recently had a very caring mother figure in his life that wiped everything out from underneath him. He learned a lot from her, how to make clothes faster, how to use spell threads to give a mild enchantment to things. As an apprentice, though, he created a very powerful artifact, a cloak known as Hoarfrost. Kavan was impressed, surprised, really, at the sheer capabilities that Tybal had. He has since lost the cloak, sold it off at a high price to a colleague that now looks after his family's vineyard. Now he maintains his business in the Brass City in what is known as the Runerites district, a place full of enchanters and arcane crafters that manufacture magic items and magical materials and metals, which he uses and utilizes within his business. And has created a sort of trade deal between the blacksmiths, the leather workers, the seamstresses, and a few of the artificers that work amongst them in exchange for some of his goods and services at a discounted price. His store, Tybal's Wares, is pretty much the epitome of luxury investment in your attires. His prices are high, his labor is intensive, but at the end he knows exactly what it is you are after and gives you exactly what you need, and sometimes a little bit more if you become a very valued customer. Only a few people have managed to get very close to Tybal. He's a very distrusting person, doesn't inherently wish to know more about a person. Even if someone talks to him for hours on end, he will only absorb a fraction of the information, sussing most of it to be a lie, which in truth it might not be. It could just be a tale or an anecdote, and he still would not be any more trusting than he was a few hours prior. Those who have befriended him are better off knowing him, because he is a kind, gentle soul, much like his master. He only wishes to please and bring a little bit of joy into other people's lives for a fee. Even with the money that he has, he lives very simple and humble residence. A very small house just on the border of the Runeright district that sits almost like a studio apartment. Inside lies only 2 rooms, the guest room and his bedroom. That is all that stays in there, albeit these are large rooms in which he has decorated them profusely with simple and functional furnishings. They are primarily outfitted with a lot of his sketchbooks, his pouches of coins, his materials that he has sampled and still waiting on new invoices to come in for them. And the guest room seems to be able to be converted into a sort of welcoming area, a party room, if you will, a living room at most, where the bed that a guest may sleep on can be pushed back into the wall and vanish seamlessly through some sort of arcane illusion. He rarely has guests over, so the room lies dormant and empty, whilst he disappears into the night in search of food and a fine bottle of wine imported straight from his family vineyard. For those who have visited the vineyard, they would see it as a beautiful land stretching a good 30 acres. The structures are in disrepair and in need of a little bit of maintenance. The fields are slowly dying out from disease and tender need of care. The people that watch over it, his dearest friends, have since neglected their duties that he so desperately asked them to do, for they have taken away from it and gone adventuring with the money that Tybal has given them, leaving only the workers to maintain an uphill battle with this large vineyard. Maybe one day Tybal will return to his home on the material plane, but the pain in his chest that will surge from knowing that this is the final place that his mother kissed him goodbye, his father tucked him into bed, and his siblings played with him last 20 years ago. It will stab him through the chest and cause pain unimaginable. But perhaps he can find friends that will look after it for him in the future. For to see his family home fall to ruin would pain him even more, as the last dying memories of his family crumble alongside the mortar and stone that it is made of. But until that time, he will continue sowing, melding, and enchanting, taking large sums of coin off of wealthy investors and adventurers. So, that is the introduction and small little glimpse into who Tybal Brim, the master tailor, is. And I hope you enjoyed it. There'll be more like this in the future. I'll need to see who I think is wise to come up with after this. And until next time, my wonderful adventurers, you stay safe.